What's up, people? Welcome back to 5 Rounds. We're back for the 2022 show. This is our first show. How have you been, guys? How was your Christmas? How was everything?
Yeah, it was good. It was good, man.
Me,
Good to get
It's
started.
good. Nothing special. You got nothing special from Santa.
No,
no.
Santa
I
gave me
told,
the gift of life. I made it past 2021. I'm in 2022. What else? What else should I be excited about, man? Life, man. It's yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
good.
all
We're
good.
good.
What
We're good.
about
We're good.
yourself, Ovi? Anything special that happened for you this Christmas?
nah, bruh, it's the same stuff, bruh. Just saying you what it do, what it does. It is what it is. Over two nights in the house, back in the building.
His
Yes.
Yeah,
house.
you know yourself anyway. You know yourself anyway. So anyway, guys, before we start the show, I just want to say one thing. Welcome back to the show. We missed you. I know you missed us. From now on, obviously, we'll get back with the Friday shows, and also we'll get back with the Instagram shows at 8 p.m. every day, and then the Twitter Spaces. But one more thing. Malawi was playing Zimbabwe today. We beat them 2-1. So congrats to the Flames. Congrats to Malawi. That's for AFCON. That's two goals for Gabadinho and no goals for Salah. Anyway, let's move on with the show. So
Well,
today,
we also wanted to apologize for being late, guys. Sorry we're late, but actually, yeah, we'll get on with it.
yeah, sorry about that's on me anyway. I made a few mishaps. Anyway, today we're gonna talk about games. As the title say, let's talk about games. Um,
Let's talk about
so
what?
we're gonna start off. We're gonna
Let's
start
talk
off
about
quite
games,
simple.
baby. Let's talk
Yeah,
about you and me.
This guy nearly slipped. Nearly got him. All
yeah.
right.
So, look, basically, we're gonna ask the first and simple question to everybody, to the guys in the panel. Um, why do you think people get into gaming? I'm gonna start with you, Ovita, since you are very hype at the moment.
Yeah. Why do you think people get into gaming? Me, the biggest thing.
Yeah,
I I'll answer that to my personal view, right? Why I got into gaming. I
yeah. Go
wouldn't
ahead,
I,
man.
I wouldn't answer for other people. I think I got into gaming. I'll be honest. I got into gaming because of I don't know. Can you call it peer pressure? But or no
What?
peer pressure? No, it can't not peer pressure. Sorry, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking for the right word.
Influence. You mean like you
Yeah,
were
yes,
influenced
yes.
by something?
Influence. Because I remember back then playing was outside. You'd be playing with wild cars and things like that. Go and do backsummers, backflips, and all that kind of thing. Yeah. you know, that was the norm. Well, that was going playing. But then there was a friend of mine, I remember. He moved from England because his father was studying in England. Is now he passed away, rest in peace, Fulu. He came back from England. He was living with his father. His father was studying. And when he came back, he came with a video game. I think it was a God in China at that time. Back then, man, in the 90s. And because I was playing.
what's a golden china? Can you explain to people that don't know what a
Okay,
golden china is?
okay, a
do, you,
God
do
in
you know that
China.
those golden chinas were only popular in Malawi? So some
In Africa,
countries,
Yeah.
most Africa, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so pretty much, guys, a God in China was pretty much a bootleg of a Nintendo. It was pretty much a bootleg of a Nintendo. People who know a Nintendo,
Which
a Nintendo
which
used the
one? Which
okay,
Nintendo? The
the
first one.
first Super Nintendo, just the
Hmm.
Super
what the
Nintendo.
NES system.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
NES.
the
Yeah,
one that used the one that used to put a cartridge.
yeah, yeah.
So China, the same, of course, Nintendo is from. Is it Japan? Is it Japan or China?
Nintendo's American.
Is it?
No, not
Right.
particular. It's not. It's not on. It's not only American. It's you're right. Japan.
It's
It's Japanese.
developed just like PlayStation, developed in Japan, but owned by. Well, okay,
Okay.
so
Okay. Cool.
PlayStation is not owned by America. Sorry, it is
Okay.
Japanese, but
Sony.
Nintendo,
Yeah.
I think Nintendo's
Yeah,
American.
Nintendo said it's Japan. So what I'm trying to say is, then they also made a bootleg which was cheaper, and he came with this, and we were playing those Mario and that. There was all these games that you have on Nintendo, but just for bootleg contract on them. So I used to go to his house every now and then. This kid who's come from Europe, he's came with a device that you can play video games, and then playing that, I was like, oh, that is actually cool. And playing with wired cars when you're getting wounds and piercings from the wires and all that. So I started crying for one so much at home, and then I got one, and once I got one, I got hooked to it. I absolutely got hooked to it. So to me, it was entertainment and influence. That's the reason why I got into gaming, and it was just something. Listen, for a person that's come from Africa to see a video game at that time in the 90s, it was something like, wow, I can actually have something in my hand and be on the television, and I'm controlling this person, you know. So I think it was that element of surprise that wow, that oh my god, this is amazing, That's why
Well,
we got my
is that
person.
why you stayed in the gaming world? Is that why you
Yeah,
stayed?
that's but
Because you
yeah,
said
that's
you were
it.
influenced by people, right?
Yeah,
But you're still doing it now. So
I'm
why
still
did
a
you
gamer.
stay?
I'm still a gamer. I'm still a big gamer. I'll tell you why I stayed. I stayed because every year is something new that is greater than what you had. So when you had the golden China, I remember I had that. I got that console. It was called Polystation, and the reason I got that is when my mom went on. She went to, I think she went to Sweden, and they said, "Ma, when you're coming back, I want a PlayStation." Okay, a PlayStation. But my mom didn't buy me anything there. When she came back in Malawi, she went to not consumer electronics and asked them,
Yeah.
I want a PlayStation. She didn't know, she didn't say it right. So I ended up getting a PlayStation, which was a cartridge game, a fake bootleg of a, it looked like a PlayStation, but you were putting cartridges. So it was a pure bootleg of a PlayStation called PlayStation. And once I got that, and it was just levels. From that, then got a Nintendo 64, Nintendo 64, Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation 1. So it's just that fact of there's always something better than what you had that keeps on going, to the next level. And that's why I still stay in there. Like now, we have the PlayStation 5. We're there on the PlayStation 5. I know then there'll be PlayStation 6 someday, and then it'll be like, oh yeah, let me get that as well. So
So that's quite amazing. That's an amazing story, man. For the fact that you had bootleg games, now you can afford a proper one. Anyway,
yeah.
that's a good story, man. What about yourself, Wantali? I
I
see
think
as Ovido's talking about his golden China bootleg Nintendo and all other things. You were smiling there. So what about yourself? What got you like? Why do people get into gaming?
personally, it was first FOMO. It was fear of missing out, to be honest, because most of my friends had consoles. There was a friend of mine had a Nintendo then, and they were playing Mario Kart. It was kind of cool, but then obviously at the time you'd compare that to playing outside. Like all of us would get involved in something, and then we'd get inside, and only two people can play. So if there's 10 of us, 8 of us are watching, right? So first it was FOMO. It was like, okay, but then it was half and half because I wanted to play outside, But eventually, being a competitive person, I'm a competitive person by nature. Um, Knowing that there's something I can play that I might win or might be good at, got me into it. It got me into gaming. So, for example, I think my first experience of a video game was something in Malawi people called brick game. It's literally black and white Tetris game. Basically, it's a Tetris game. That's the only thing that's in there. And it was based on high scores as well. So you competed by getting a higher score. Who's going to survive this level? How far are you going to go and stuff like that? Then we went on to what, Ovi was playing, Golden China. We played things like Mario on this, knockoff Nintendo. We played Contra, stuff like that. So it went from there to having that experience and playing with my brother. As a kid, I never had a console, to be honest, but my parents never
Oh,
bought me a
that's a sad story, sad.
Very
my
sad. That's
parent.
very
Hold on a
sad.
minute. I'm not asking for. I'm not asking for charity.
Look at you now.
I've
Look
got a
at you now.
PS5. What are you talking
Look at you
about?
now. You have a
Anyway,
PS5.
No, yeah, go ahead,
Go
man.
on.
Go ahead. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So my parents didn't want to get me a video game because I guess they felt that they didn't need to get me one. The message I got was, if you want to get it, find the means to get it yourself. So even though they never bought me one, I had a place. I had a console. I would have my friend's console for a month, and I have somebody else's console for a month. I was very, very resourceful.
Whoa.
I was that
Before you go
guy.
on, so that
I was.
this habit started while you're young. This habit
Oh yeah,
of
sourcing things. I would have like.
Vita, this is why this guy likes game sharing. Now it makes
Mhm.
Why are you exposing me
You
like that?
started it at a younger age. You started this stuff at a younger age.
Nah,
okay,
but
go on, man. Go on, son.
in nature, I've always been a person who finds what somebody else is looking for, and I'm like a very connectable person. Like I can find what you need, and I probably have what you need, and then you've got what I need. So that's how I got to get things from people because I'd have something that they want and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I got into gaming. The competitive side of it. To be honest, when growing up, my interest in gaming sort of went because we went from playing games that you can play together in the same room, and then now it's you have to get online to play. And I didn't really understand it at first, so I was like, this is boring. And then I got into something else. But other than that, I got back into gaming because obviously in Europe, everyone's far away, and you've got internet and you've got time, and you get on there, you speak to your friends. That's the reason I get on, especially with COVID, being in lockdown and stuff like that. It's one of the ways to connect with your friends, your families, people that you play with, have a bit of fun, forget about what's going on in life, so that's another reason why I game till today as well. It's a bit therapeutic. It's like getting away from the real world a little bit and doing something that you want to do and having fun. Basically, that is why.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Like both of you, what you've said, I think I have a bit of both. For me, I was also one of the guys who wanted to play outside, play a lot of games like football outside with the guys, or one of our traditional games. But I ended up, all my friends were talking about games at school all the time. It was gaming, 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 and we never had one too, by the way. So it was until a certain age when we found one, but everybody had one, and people would borrow each other. Like, oh, I'll come into your house to sleep over. One of my mates, Fred, always seemed to have all the consoles in his house. Him and his cousin. But for me, this was my first. This was my first console. Sega Mega Drive 16-bit game. And this is the first one we got. And guess what? We got it secondhand from my father's friend's house. So ever since then, like gaming. So for me, I entered into gaming because of friends at school who were always talking about gaming, always giving each other cartridges. So I was like, what? I need mine. That's a good one. That's Street Fighter, one of the games I liked that time. So look, guys, you guys in the comments there, you can also write down in the comments how you got into gaming and why you think people get into gaming in general. Write it in the comments, but like the vid. Don't forget to like the vid, subscribe, and share it with your family, and always put your notification button on so that every time we're live, we're live on YouTube. So anyway, guys,
going into the comments real quick.
Yeah,
Robert says, "What's up, Robert?" He says, "Look, Ovi said device." Okay. Vanessa says, "Gaming helps me escape into a fantasy world where I can die and respawn better and better. Let's go." Okay, whatever fills your boots. Whatever fills your boots. Yeah, man. Like Vanessa's saying here, if you're enjoying the content and you've seen the content, guys, press a like, give us the love hearts, man. We now have super chats as well. So if you feel like supporting us as well, guys, you can send a super chat and all of that, and we'll read it out as well. Yeah, so carry on.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, we're gonna move on to the next topic of discussion, or question. So we've all talked about our experience and how we got into this, how we got into gaming, what influenced us, how we ended up here, why we're still in gaming. But what are the positives and negative impacts of gaming? I'm gonna start with you, Wantali, because I start with Ovid in the next one.
The positive and negative impacts of gaming. Okay, so I spoke. I mean, in the while I was answering the previous question, I sort of gave a little positive there. I think the social aspect for me is a big plus. Coming from a background that is very sociable, coming from a family, a big family, extended family, being African as well. You're used to being social. You're used to talking to people, being around people, and all that stuff, right? So the first positive impact it had on me is the fact that I could still socialize with people. I could play games while socializing with people, which means I would meet like-minded people. You know what I mean? Another positive impact I would say is, gaming has turned just gaming into careers. We have things like esports. Esports is basically when people play against people all over the world. That when the best players play against each other for a cup, and normally this brings sponsorship. It turns you to a professional gamer. It brings endorsements. You get paid to play. Basically, people bring new games to you so you can test them. So that's one of the positive impacts it brought. I think a last impact I would say is, I guess, for me personally, it made me a little bit more. It made me coordinate with my myself a little bit more, maybe think quicker, act quicker, and stuff like that, see things quicker. There are a lot of people think, oh, gaming is just there brainwashing yourself. But if you're playing a strategy game, a puzzle game, you're using your brain to outwit somebody else online who's trying to outwit you, and also you're using your body or hands or whatever it is to think quicker, speak quicker, communicate quicker. So there's a lot of things that you need, that you get, a lot of positive things that you get from it.
Look, sorry for cutting you there, but what you just said, I know there's a kid, right, who taught himself Spanish via a video game, and also taught himself like countries around the world, like past his geography lesson, just because of a video game that had like adventures around the world. So he knew the capital cities, he knew some of the local foods, everything.
Oh, we lost him
Because of video game. I just wanted to throw that.
Okay. Do you want to just repeat that? Because I think you cut out a little bit.
Oh, did you lose me there for a minute?
Yeah.
Nah, my bad. I was saying that, well, what you were talking about education, I'm saying there's a kid who, because of video games, he taught himself how to speak Spanish, a bit of Spanish, and also he passed his geography lesson based on playing video games, because he was playing adventure video games that could tell him that this is the capital city, this city is here, this is what's here, this is what's there. Just by video gaming, he was able to teach himself all that. So as you said, some people think it's useless, but you can learn certain things from video gaming. So continue.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go on the negative impacts of obviously gaming. I think anything around gaming right now. I think the biggest thing actually that is being disputed with gamers and the game makers alike is every game these days is going into internal purchases. What am I talking about? So I'm saying, look, games have internal currency these days. So they have their own sort of money in their games, right? So they say for example, FIFA has FIFA coins. For you to get certain players or certain teams, you need to buy FIFA coins. So there's a lot of encouragement in buying these things. Fortnite, for example, it's a free game, but you have to buy so many things, skins and all these things. So that has a financial impact on the parents of these children, on yourself as a person. The PlayStation 5, the cheapest you can get it for is $399. I think the most you could get it for is what, 5, 6, 7, 800, depending on what you buy.
But $399, that's pounds.
Yes, pounds. Yes, I'm talking about pounds because it's pounds.
Anyway. Yeah, because in Europe,
anyway,
man, just let the guy land, man.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is the financial impact of a PlayStation could be huge, because if you don't have your financial priorities straight, you could be thinking, PlayStation or food. Forget food. Forget food. I'll just eat the PlayStation. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, and I've seen kids take advantage of this system because they're familiar to the technology and their parents are not. When I was working in one job, there was a kid who was buying stuff on PlayStation or whatever it was using the parents' phone number, So, things like that, it can impact you financially. So I just say, just be a little bit careful about that. The other thing I would say is, gaming addiction is real as well. Just spending, as much as gaming is good, but spending a lot of time on it and, on one thing, there are people who have died from this. There's a guy who stayed in one position for like 48 hours, didn't eat, didn't do anything, was just playing for 48 hours and died. I think it was about 16 or something like that. So yeah, anything, too much of anything can be very dangerous. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true, man. I can't disagree with most of what you've said, man. It's true. What about you, Ovita? What do you think? Like yourself, I know as One Tally was speaking, same as One Tally, you sat there listening. You were sometimes nodding your head in agreement. Sometimes you're giving us a face like, "What the hell?" So, what are the positive? Okay, what are the positive and negative impacts of gaming, Mr. Ovita?
I think most of the stuff anyway, One Tally I said them already. As you said, anyway, I think the most one is addiction. As you said, the first one there, you said the second. It's a big thing. It's affected a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of adults that will get too addicted that they're just living a game life. You know what I mean? Even when they're outside their gaming zone, they're literally their brain, the way they're thinking and the way they're acting is like they're still in the gaming environment. You know what I mean? And
Are you talking about that girl? Have you seen the girl on TikTok who she pretends as if she's a character in GTA, and that's what she is?
yeah. You know,
Yeah, but
kind of
that's
like she,
that person is aware though. She's aware. She's pretending, as you just said. But he's talking about a gaming hangover, whereas you think you're still in that world and you
yeah.
act like you're in that
Yeah,
world.
but the thing is, there's gatherings of this, so they've
Yeah,
got
there is.
clubs where they go together every weekend and they go into full character. Like, come on, every
Of the
weekend.
main
Like,
character.
like
So again, you're saying they go into an organized place to do an organized thing. But in his case, he's saying that you have lost caution, you have lost awareness of the real world
Well,
and
yeah.
the gaming world. So, for example, I
oh,
think
is that where you're going with it?
yeah, that's what he's
Okay.
trying to say. Where
Yeah.
people, maybe even commit crimes because in the game it was
Exactly.
okay to do it.
I wanted to say to go
Yeah,
things like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
like
yeah.
this, all these shooting games you've seen in the news, and you've seen people, especially it's happened commonly now. You've seen in America or any other where a person has gone and shoot out a joint, a club or a school or things like that. We've had there's incidents where you've seen a person say there's a motivation, a motivation that has come from gaming because they thought, oh yeah, it was cool in GTA when I pulled out that Uzi and started spraying everyone in the streets.
Yeah.
Sure,
Oh.
let me go buy one and do that in the real world. You know?
I'm a good shot in Call of Duty or whatever.
Yeah.
So it
So
means I'm a good shot in real life,
in real
stuff.
life. So let me go get a gun and try this. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the negative effect. I would start with that to say that it's done to the population. And of course, as you said, money, and that I've proved that because I've worked in a shop that dealt with games, and we've had complaints where I remember there was a woman that came in and their daughter spent about 3,000 something euros just on buying packs and things like that online, just because she put the card once on the Xbox. And
It saves, yeah.
yeah, and she put once to buy something and the card was there. And so every time she's asked to buy something, she's just like, yes, 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 and up to 3,000. I mean, lucky enough, because she wasn't intentionally trying to do this, she managed to get it through with uh, Microsoft, and they actually reimbursed the money. But I'm just saying, in certain circumstances, this is not possible, and they're looking at 3,000 euros just going out the drain. You know, the kind of way. Positively, it's the same skills, coordination, of course, thinking, of course. There are people that, as you've already said, Patrick, there are people that, because of gaming, it actually opened some certain parts of their brain that they couldn't use, but because of playing a game, trying to figure out a solution, even normal adventure. So it doesn't have to be puzzle games, even an adventure game. There's certain adventure games where you have to actually think for you to actually find out a route. That thinking is a brain working. It's as similar as someone being in class and trying to solve an equation. You know, I think the brain also functions in the same similar way. So I'd say it does actually improve a lot of people's skills when it comes to using their brain. And of course, communication to me as well. Another advantage: communication with friends.
Ovi,
So
I made those
basically,
3 points you've made.
you've started recycling.
I made
One
those
time, I think
points.
one time killed them. Yeah.
I already made those points. So it's
Alright.
like you're repeating the same
You know what?
thing.
I'm gonna save my boy. I'm gonna save my boy. It's all good.
Did
You
you
know
say
what I'm
about
gonna do?
communication?
Yes,
I didn't hear you.
that was the first thing I said.
All right.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Jesus is Lord.
You know what? It's not your fault, man. It's not your fault. I think this guy he milked he milked the whole question. So when you came in, the milk was done. You just dust is just coming out now. So anyway, I'm just gonna give you the next one. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna move away from this one and
Whoa.
just.
We've got comments, man. We've got comments.
Oh, okay, go ahead. You want to read them?
So, Vanessa says better thinking skills. Yep. Says improves problem solving skills and logic increased hand-eye coordination. Sorry. Advantage travel because of esports, world recognition, fame, the likes of Ninja. Who's Ninja?
You don't know
I
who
know
the
it's
streamer.
Ninja, man.
The streamer.
I know who that is. Imagine waking up to €0
What?
balance on your credit card and your kid spent it all on Fortnite skins. Do you know what I mean? Imagine that. That'd be
You
You
guys are
you
not
know what?
verified. You're not verified gamers if you don't know
And
Ninja.
another thing, obviously, I don't know if we can put this as part of game is the. It just brings me back to the pressure also during Christmas, the pressure of parents who were struggling and suffering for a PS5. There was people fighting in Smith's store in swords, fighting in a queue. Grown ass people, just because the child said I want a PS5. And the time when Fortnite shut down and the second CT came out as an update, same issue. Like gaming, that's one of the negatives also in the gaming world. But anyway, as I said, one time it looked like he milked everything, and then when our boy Ovita went to the fridge, he found there's no milk. So
Yeah,
anyway,
but
that's bad.
you guys better. You better. You guys as you guys. Hey, you guys. By the way, you guys as gamers, you should Google who Ninja is. I'm surprised you actually don't know Ninja.
We play games. We don't watch others play games. That's for people who
Exactly.
watch
That's the
others play
other.
games.
I think that's what the other generation does now, isn't it? You guys
Yeah,
go and other
not
people
people
go on
our age.
YouTube.
No.
Other people go on YouTube to watch games. They
Oh,
can't do that.
he doesn't go on YouTube. Okay.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna explain. I was gonna explain. I was gonna explain. This guy, man. What's wrong with you, man?
Nope.
This guy. Listen. I was gonna say, look, the only time I go and watch another game or listen to another game is when I need tips or when I need something. I'm trying to work something out. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this business of just watching other gamers play other games, like
Yeah, but he's
From
an online streamer.
morning
But
to night, by the
he
way.
does. Yeah, there's certain people who do that, but this guy does the same thing. He gives tips because he's a gamer. He's a professional paid gamer that is sponsored. He does streaming, and of course, he also does what gives tips on different games.
But he doesn't give you the tips at first. He talks and talks and waits for you to watch him for 3 hours. Then he tells you a tip. Let's move on, man. Go watch Ninja then.
guys in the comments, man, would you rather, especially for the guys that are not interested in playing games, would you rather watch somebody play, or would you rather get the console yourself and at least try and play? Let us know what you think, actually. Also, before Patrick goes on, guys, do not forget to subscribe. If you're new, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We have just gone over 1,000 subscribers, 1,200. So we want to say thank you to the guys that have subscribed to us.
1.2.
So let's make it 2,000 this year. If we can make it 2,000 or a little bit more, we'll really appreciate it. But let's keep it going. Thank you for your support, guys.
Appreciate it.
So the road to 2,000 has just started, to 2K. We've just started it today. So share this with everyone, your family members, your friends, everyone. Get us to 2K, people. Come on. Anyway, I'm gonna start with Ovita because after one time he murdered that, this guy was lost. So I'm gonna start with you, Ovita, my boy. So let's save you. Which game do you think changed the video gaming world?
I think the game. Let me put it in my view, right? Because I don't want to generalize. Everyone's
go on, man. Go
on. Everyone has. So are we talking about a game or are we talking about a console?
A game.
Game. Okay, so a game. A game to me, guys, I think it's.
I mean, you can talk about both, to be honest, if you want.
Yeah, I think a console, personally, to me, I'll start with a console. Console, guys.
Man, I wish you had that song from Titanic to play in the background.
Guys, for me, guys, it's PlayStation 1. Okay, I think it changed the whole game, gaming industry to me. When PlayStation 1, I'll tell you why. Before PlayStation 1, I had a Sega Dreamcast. Real quick, Sega Dreamcast used discs. It had good graphics. But when PlayStation came and I got a PlayStation, it was at that time when PlayStation 1, when you're playing PlayStation 1, you thought the people looked so real. And I can't believe when I go back today and look at it, I'm like, how the hell did I think that looked so real compared to today when I play my PlayStation 5, right? It changed the industry so much. I think it was a must want for every child. You just wanted to have a PlayStation. At that time, PlayStation 1, if you had a PlayStation 1, that was like the end game. You're on top of the world of gaming. because he didn't know there'll be, to me, because I didn't know there'll be PlayStation 2, there'll be PlayStation 3 or 4 or 5. But at that time, it was like you're just on top of the world of gaming industry, right? A video game that I think changed everything. Well, I can't say Mario because I think that's the first game that I played. But Mario, I'd say Mario.
Mario changed. So how did it change something? What did it do then that is good now? What did it change?
Okay. Same Mario that we used to play on Golden China. Today it's still a game that is still played by billions of people in the whole wide world.
Yeah,
It
but
changed.
what did it change though?
Yeah, listen. The thing that it changed, I think it made people understand gaming. To me, that's what I would say.
Okay, but then you know what? Look here, man. Mario, yeah.
Mhm.
What's Mario's mission? Yeah. What has been Mario's mission from 19 bloody whatever to today? That guy's still trying to get his woman. Mario, get your woman, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Just skip to level 100 and get your woman. But anyway, look, what was his mission was to get what? That woman from start to finish, and he's still doing it today. What did that game change, really? Because if you play that game today, it's still this almost the same thing. You're jumping over something, you break some bricks, and then you climb on a bloody, I don't know what that thing is, a dinosaur, you eat some eggs, like what? The mushrooms.
But it changed, bro. It changed. Before you were just hitting bricks. Right now, bro, if you're playing Mario 3D, it's a whole different game, bro. You play Mario 3D today, bro, you're gonna feel like you're in the real world of Mario.
I think, sir, I think the assignment there, like the assignment is wrong. Didn't get the assignment here. Hold on a minute. I'll get back to you in a minute. So Anne Marie says, "Hi guys, did any of you Commodore 64? Do you mean a Nintendo 64? Because I was gonna ask Ovi that question as well." Robert Mlota says, "Look, buy my own console and play. I saw a few videos. People wearing VR headsets. It looked fun, but just don't punch your loved ones." All right, that's a good pointer. So, Mr. Ovi, too nice, man. Listen, so you're saying Super Mario changed the game? Yes, it changed the world of gaming. How?
Yeah.
Because you're saying, look, it went from Mario this to Mario 3D, but what impact did it have on gaming as a whole? You know what I mean? In your opinion, because you're saying,
in my opinion, as a whole, I think it's the game that actually got a lot of people involved in gaming, in the gaming world. I think so, personally, because I've never met a gamer that would never say a good word and say, "Yeah, Mario used to be the ish." I started playing Mario for me to start loving video games. It was Mario before Contra was there. Contra was there, but it's Mario that got me like, yeah, I want to run around and throw red bullets and hit bricks. Mushroom comes out. I want to have that.
Okay.
I think it changed the world of gaming. It pulled in a lot of gamers.
Okay. Okay, fine. For me, I'm just asking about what it is about the game. Because say I'm not a gamer, yeah. Because you've said it's pulled a lot of gamers. It's like you're trying to tell me to join Jehovah's Witness, right? But all you keep saying is it's so amazing. We sing at the church. We do it. It's so amazing. I wanted to know, like, what did Mario do for you that you feel changed your experience in gaming? Because you said when the PlayStation 1 came out, it looked real. That is the reason why you feel it changed things, because from that moment on, things looked real and then realer and then better and better and better. You know what I mean? Because I'm guessing you went from a Nintendo to a PlayStation, right?
No, it's Nintendo. I went Nintendo, Sega Dreamcast, then PlayStation 1.
Okay.
That's a very weird.
All right. So if you had a Dreamcast, the Dreamcast
had discs. It was almost like the PlayStation 1.
Similar. So how is that a change? How is that a big
I'll tell you. I actually said it there. Sega Dreamcast used disc. It was like a PlayStation, but it was like a lower version of a PlayStation 1. I'll tell you why.
But it was similar. It was 3D graphics, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It was
3D, of course.
They were trying to compete with the PS1, I think so.
Exactly.
They were.
So how did the PS change things when somebody already had done it? Like somebody came up with the idea. How did the PlayStation enhance this idea? That's what I want to understand here.
Well, I don't work for PlayStation to know what they did for it to look better. You know, I don't know what they did for it to look better. I don't understand.
Jesus is Lord.
Because if I put PlayStation and Dreamcast and you put the graphics there, then like PlayStation was just like a game. Man, this was It was like a pure upgrade. I'll tell you, even the games that you could get on a PlayStation, they were saying you just couldn't get them on Dreamcast.
Okay.
You couldn't, for example, Pro Evolution, you couldn't get it on Dreamcast.
Okay.
Can I just say one? My me, right? I know that I'm the one who's asking the questions, but I wanted to throw in mine. Uh, there's actually two games for me. It started with the one you were shooting a duck.
Duck Hunter.
Duck
Yeah,
Hunter.
that game might have not been the first one to sort of okay, that was not the first, I think, shooting game out there. But the thing about it, it's set a way that now you can target. That's how these modern games are called. Those are the godfathers of them. Things like Duck Hunter, where you could target something, and it also say that like this is how game shooting can be, not just from the side, from the side. Because Duck Hunter, you could go around, and that's what I feel like. It set the groundwork for games like that. But the game that I feel was also a game changer was Space War. Do you know Space War?
Nah, bruh. You talk about snake or some shit like that.
No, Space War. It was just, I'm gonna put my hand. It was just a plane, and it just go pew pew pew.
Oh yeah, pew, 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 and you're shooting stars.
Yeah, but look, the thing about that is it it brought a sort of fun that the technology could be fun. It also brought a sort of it showed people that there's a way you can do gaming, not just the way like pong, the ping pong thing, where it was just a
Mm,
ball just going like that ball
mm.
pong, whatever you got, the ping pong, because that was the first one of the first games. But this one, like, it was more fun, more exciting. There was a high score, so now it was more competitive. There was a bit of competition, brought competition to the gaming world. So
Tetris and them.
those are the games myself. Like, they're not the first one, but that one brought sort of a competition to the gaming world, and it was more exciting. And levels were changing, so it could change. It became faster. It became more intense. So it was more intense gaming, and people were like, you know what? I have to beat this. I have to beat this. Not from the beginning. At first, it used to just be one level of thing that was happening. So for me, Space Horse and Duck Hunter, they started the sort of groundwork for games that are in these days. That's how games started saying, you know what, there's a high level, there's a medium, it's harder now. Just for me, those are the games I think changed the gaming world today.
Okay, that's a fair point. I'm just gonna read the comments because the comments are going nuts now. Welcome guys. So let's see. Where did we end up here? So okay. So Anne Marie says, "Look, no, you mean the Commodore 64? What is this Commodore 64?
Okay,
What the hell is that?
I'll tell you what a Commodore 64 was. A Commodore 64 was
What?
Commodore.
Commodore 64, yeah.
Okay, it was like one of the first games. It had when you're playing it, the drawing were like sketch drawings.
Well, bloody
You get
hell,
me?
you lot. Commodore
Did you
64.
say a cassette player? A cassette player?
When was that made? In 2 BC or something?
But it's a really. I don't know how come you like.
I'm googling it now.
Google it there if
Oh
you
my
want
God.
to share it.
So basically,
seen-
it's a keyboard. It's a
Yeah.
keyboard and a joystick, basically.
And the joystick, yeah, it like this. No, you can share it on the screen. Share it on the screen there. You can share it on the
What
screen.
the hell, man? What the hell
Share
is
it on the
that,
screen.
man?
Do you want me to
I
share
have-
it?
Anyway, just explain what it is. I'm gonna find it.
Please share it, man. This thing. Do you know how much it costs? This. Do you know how much it costs one time right now? 179 euros. I'm not paying 179 euros for this.
Yeah, because it's authentic.
Is it?
I think.
Oh my
I think
god!
she
It
actually-
used tapes. Like the tapes.
Yeah, they were
from the radio.
like kind of floppy disks, or
Okay.
This
Commodore-
thing, like, just to load a game, you'd have to take you.
Commodore 64, everyone. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, yeah. So that's what it is, really. So what Anne Marie says. Look, you mean the Commodore 64? It was savage, and the games were cassettes, and the cassette player machine, and the keyboard connected to the TV. Sounds like a whole lot of mess. That Alonio says, I get where Oki, you mean OV? I get where OV is coming from. Mario was the one game everyone knew straight away. She continues to say, Mario is the one game every or most generations know about since the beginning of computer games. Why? The question is why? Why do people know about Mario? I think I can understand what you mean. I think because he was a relatable character. For the
Plumber.
first time, it wasn't I don't know, some soldier with guns or whatever. It was just a normal guy who's Italian who has to go get his girlfriend. So everyone related to that, and because they put that in a game, that is why it changed things. So people were like, "Oh, I can be Mario. Anyone can be Mario." I think that's what I'm getting from this. Duck Hunt. I had that for the Nintendo and the gun. Oh wow. And
Yeah,
had
you
the gun,
see, that's where all these guns
that's where
these
the
days
gun
have
thing
come
comes.
from.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I'm
Um,
saying. It's because back in the days it was just you from the side, right? Pew, 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 that's it. These days,
Yeah.
like these days, with the 3D where you can walk around, Duck Hunter just started with this side.
oh,
You can see somebody from a first-person shooter, so you see it laid the grounds for games like that. So anyway, moving on.
okay, so Robert says, look, Mario and Need for Speed, the most simple games. They all had a basic joystick and two button, not complicated. Okay, so he means he's talking about the basic consoles, basically. Okay,
That's in the
and
arcades, isn't it?
Anne Marie was you. You were the most popular if you had this. All my friends used to come play with me. I wish I still had it. Be worth a lot of money. Yeah, it would be. Alonio says, I always thought Crash Bandicoot was the one, though. Yeah, so Crash Bandicoot, again, that's an iconic character. Again, another character. So we went from Mario to Sonic. Well, we had Sonic, then Mario, or whatever it was, then Crash Bandicoot. So these characters started coming out because of this. So this is what, I guess, this is what Mario changed. He became a relatable character. For me, which game I think changed the world of video gaming? It's simple, really. It's Grand Theft Auto for me. I think it's the one game that. So let me explain what type of game it is for people that don't know. So Grand Theft Auto is pretty much a open world game, right? So you immerse yourself in a real world like situation where you're a person who can steal cars, you can earn money, you can build a house, you could even have a girlfriend, you could do all kinds of things. It wasn't like Sims. Think of Sims, but R18, like proper violent and all these things, right? So GTA was very open world like that, and then it had missions and all these things. Now, most games that have come out after GTA, because it's one of the most successful games ever. It's still being played till today, and it was made in what? When was it? When GTA 5 came out in 2013, I think it was 2013, 2013, 2014. This game is being played till today. People are buying this game right now, So yeah,
I'm just after buying it again when I had it before.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Something that has just caught my eye. The fact that they're making that Matrix game and it's going to be open world and everything. So GTA was the first open world game, right?
The first proper open world game, yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. So it started the whole open
The
world
whole
thing
open
because
world thing.
that's the thing now.
Even the
The first
structure
game.
of how things look, the map, where
Yeah.
your money is, all those things. Every
It's
game has
GTA.
copied that. So for me,
it started with the bird's eye kind of game, isn't it? It was bird's eye view.
At first it was bird's eye view from the top, and then they made it third person. So third person means you can see your whole character. First person means you just see the gun or see the hand or something like that. So yeah, that's for me, that was the most iconic game. The console, this is a difficult one. I would like to say Nintendo 64, because actually I was saying it Super Nintendo, because before Super Nintendo, because I'm not going to mention Golden China because obviously it was a knockoff, right? But before that, you had, let me take you back to the times you had, the simple ping pong game where you have one line here, one line there, and the little ball moving.
Yeah.
And you'd literally see this little box going tick, 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 and then we went from that to interactive games, things moving left, right, having characters, voices, noises, Super Nintendo brought that. For me, that's what I feel was the turning point. This is when games became more than just gaming. It was an experience. It was, all these things. It wasn't just one ball going from one place to another, or just those little boxy graphics, or something that's not as interactive as a Nintendo, without character, without color, or whatever it is. So that's why I think the Super Nintendo was very, very influential. That's my opinion, basically.
You know what? I'm more impressed by what you just said. Now I'm gonna start researching about the GTA because it's like this whole open gaming world started from GTA. Because I remember, and I was laughing at GTA
I think
recently,
I
by the
think
way,
I
guys.
think
The original GTA was from the top. Did you
Yeah,
see
I
it?
great
think
idea.
I think okay. Don't say. I wouldn't say GTA is the first open world game. I wouldn't say that because I'm sure there are plenty games that probably got to development, probably went out in countries, but they weren't as popular as GTA. GTA was
Oh,
one
okay,
of the
right.
first popular ones because you had Age of Empires. That was almost open world, but it was a
Yeah.
strategy game. You
Yeah,
know, you had Command and Conquer, another open world game. You could go
yeah.
Yeah,
anywhere,
but you never
but
control the
But it's
character
just
like
kind of,
a single
yeah,
character and
yeah.
yeah,
do
yeah,
all
So
yeah.
that
yeah,
freely.
Mm.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
but GTA was, I think, a standout open world game, which changed the way open world games are played. You know, that's what I think.
You
So
know what? You've just opened up something, and this just brings me. I just want us to be fast anyway.
yeah, yeah,
You just opened up something. So you say like the way gaming started with 2D, then went to 3D, then now we look at gaming, it just looks real. The characters are so real. They even look like actors when they take the actors and put them in there. Uh, just
You have to
fast,
feed
guys.
them.
Yeah, just a fast one. Where do you think the gaming world is going? Like right now, with what we have right now, with all these graphics we have right now, where
So
do you think it will
VR,
go? Huh?
VR. See, look at VR, bro.
yeah. But
If you
we've
look
got
at,
VR is here now. It's
We already
talking
yeah,
have
about
it.
it.
VR, we already
No,
have it.
so the capabilities of gaming right now have gone as far as immersing yourself in another world. You know,
Yeah.
using headsets or whatever it is. So his question is, where do you think is gaming capable of doing more than what we are experiencing now? You know,
yeah,
is
of
there
course, yeah.
more that can be done?
I think so. There is more. I think there's more because we never thought we'd get to this VR point. Anyway, like
So,
we couldn't know
Oh, by
when.
the way, VR
But,
was on Sega and Nintendo. So
yes,
yeah, but yeah,
the idea of VR has been there for almost 20 years. It's
of
just been
course,
failed.
but it's not the VR that you have today. That's my whole point. That's what I'm trying to say. It's VR, but it's not the VR that you're using today. VR today that you can use if you the certain games you play VR on the PlayStation 5, and when you have that on, bro, it's like you're really there. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've actually tried the recent VRs on PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, the latest ones, bro. This stuff is lethal, bro.
Yeah, but people felt that way when they had VR on, on PCs and stuff like that. VR has been about for quite some time, to be honest.
Mm.
So people felt that way. So I say, what's the difference between then when they felt like they were in the real world to now? You know?
Because now it's maybe as you've said, maybe because now it's successful. And for those who don't know, VR is virtual reality.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Good point. Good
what
point.
about yourself, Wantali? Just a
Good
fast
point.
one before we close
What?
up.
Okay. What do I think? Oof, I don't know. Be honest with you, I don't know. For me, I'm going to concentrate on the hardware side of things. I think there's going to be more improvement on the consoles that provide you this gaming experience. In terms of the gaming side of it, you've seen the new PlayStation is a bit more integrated, where you feel things a bit more. You feel like it's got this haptic feedback, the same thing that iPhones have, your phones have, where you feel certain types of vibration around your phone depending on what it is that you're playing or watching or whatever it is. Same thing's happening with the PS5. You can feel these things, when you're playing a shooting game and there's an explosion to the right of you, the right side of your controller vibrates, so it has a little tremor or something like that. If your player is tired, your buttons get a little bit harder. I think the technology around the hardware is probably going to get better and better and better. The consoles right now, we have the PlayStation 5 consoles, what, as big as, I don't know. It's as big as a Virgin
20,
router.
20,
You know
21 inch TV.
exactly. So they
Okay,
could
cool, man.
probably make it smaller. That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. So anyway, guys, that's all the time we had to talk about gaming. Uh, any of you guys, all the questions we asked today, if you've got your own view on this, please drop it down in the comments. Get involved. But till we see you next week, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and put your notification buttons on so you can know when we are on. So from me, myself, Wantali, and Ovita, we say thank you very much, guys. And tomorrow, by the way, you will see us on Instagram at 8 o'clock, as always. At 9 o'clock, we go to Twitter Spaces. Twitter Spaces, it gets wild, man. It gets wild. Sometimes it gets so wild, it gets out of control. You're like, you know what? Enough. Red cards, red cards. Gets enough. So, anyway, Thanks for all the guys who've been with us today. We hope to see you next time. So, guys, what's the name of the show?
It's 5 rounds.
5 rounds.
5 of the ounces.
See you guys later, man. 2022
Happy New
is
Year.
back.
Happy New Year.